Aloha. It is 7:01 local time. I was going to wait a couple more minutes to get it started in case there was traffic. However, I think we have a couple more board members online, and I'd like to go ahead and get started. My name is John Clark, and I am the chair of Ebony Board. I do know that 3 members are on travel. One of them may actually wind up chiming in online. I'd like to point out that we do hold meetings in person as well as virtually. So some of the board members are online. With that, I guess I will kick it off with the rules of speaking. Aloha, this is your community public forum. Your input and cooperation are really appreciated. The Evan Neighborhood Board is an advisory board, and we provide fairness, integrity, and collaboration to all to increase and assure effective citizen participation in the decisions of government. Anyone wishing to speak is asked to raise their hand and, when recognized by the chair, to address comments to the chair. Speakers are encouraged to keep their comments under 1 minute, 1 turn per person. Those giving reports are urged to keep their reports less than 3 minutes and presentations under 10 minutes. Small reminder, if you have a mobile device, please silence your mobile device. Take a moment now. For the video teleconferencers, the board will be making a good faith effort to provide the public with the opportunity to observe the meeting as it happens and an opportunity to provide oral testimony without a physical presence in the physical meeting room. Please ensure that your computer or phone is muted unless you are actually speaking. The board may take action on any agenda item as required by the state sunshine law. Specific issues not noted on this agenda cannot be voted on unless added to the agenda. And it's important to remember that a 2/3 vote, which is 8 members of this 11-member board, is needed to add an item to the agenda. Items may not be added if they are of major importance and will affect a significant number of people. All right, with that, I guess we'll do a roll call check to see who's here. No, we usually don't do that until next, but I'd like to just make sure that how many members we have on.
Okay, so for the sake of just to make sure that we have the amount of people online, I do only see 1 board member in the physical meeting space, so I know that he is present. But I'll just do a quick check. Board member Pata. Plowman. I see your name. If you're talking, you're muted. I see your hand up, so you're good. Okay. Valerio. Gauss. Borgia. Norman Chang.
Here.
Thank you. Espino.
Present.
Thank you. Rogers. Rosenlee. And Tynanis. Nobody. Chair with yourself and the 3 that are online. You currently have 4, so quorum is not established at this time.
Okay. And for those in the audience as well as those in the virtual meeting space, because we do not have quorum, we will not be voting on significant items. So we can't pass unless we have 8 members present. A lot of families on travel, some on the other islands, some on the mainland. And hopefully nobody's out sick. Okay. Board members, would you like to introduce yourself, starting with, we'll go in alphabetical order, last name?
Good evening. This is Zachary Espino.
Susan Gorman Chang.
Plowman.
And my name is John Clark. Again, mahalo for attending. If we didn't have you 3, it would just be me here and I'd be out of luck. So, and thank you to our community members for attending tonight. We appreciate it. Starting out with item number 2, public safety first responder reports, limited to 3 minutes each report. Follow-up questions and answers are limited to 1 turn, 1 minute per person. Please remember that questions in private or in writing to these officials before or after they speak is appreciated. So if you have some follow-up questions and you want to go more than 1 question, you can speak to them out in the hall. Mahalo.
Good evening. I'm Captain Keone Dolan with the Ever Beach Fire Station. We had 11 fires this past month. 3 wildland fires, 1 nuisance fire, and 7 activated alarms, which is no fire stated. We had 199 emergencies, 187 medical calls, 1 motor vehicle collision involving a pedestrian, 9 motor vehicle collisions, and 2 hazardous materials incidents. Our fire safety tip is charge into the fire safety with the lithium-ion batteries in your home. This year, the National Fire Protection Association's Fire Prevention Week campaign works to educate everyone about using batteries safely. Lithium-ion batteries store a lot of energy in such a small space. These batteries can overheat, start a fire, or explode if overcharged or damaged. By learning how to buy, charge, and recycle these batteries, you can help prevent fire in your home. We have a couple bullet points. So buy only listed products. When buying a product that lists lithium-ion battery, look for safety certification marks, the UL marks, ETL, or CSA. This means that it meets important safety standards. Charge your devices safely. Always use a cord that came with the product. Follow the instructions on the manufacturer's label. Buy new chargers from the manufacturer or one that the manufacturer has approved. And charge your device on a hard surface. Don't overcharge your devices. Unplug it or remove it when battery is fully charged. Recycle your batteries responsibly. Don't throw your lithium-ion batteries in the trash or regular recycling bins because they could start a fire. Recycle your device or battery at a safe battery recycling location. Visit call2recycle.org to find recycling spots near you. And finally, HFD is hosting a Fire Prevention Family Day event on October 4th, 2025 at the Honolulu Zoo from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can bring your family to participate in activities and meet some of our fire and life safety partners. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions from members in the physical meeting space? Any questions from board members? Seeing none, moving on. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for your time.
Moving on from HFD to HPD. HPD duty officer, on your online, sir?
Hi, good evening. Corporal Corey Makino, District 8 Community Policing Team. Online, I also have Sergeant Fumi Moroka and Lieutenant Marina Perel. The crime statistics for the month of August in the Ewa Beach area. Motor vehicle thefts for our district was 27. Ewa Beach was 14. Burglaries was 10. In the district, Ewa had 5. Thefts was 117 for the district. Ewa had 30. Unauthorized entry into motor vehicle for the district was 17. And for the Ewa Beach area, we had 6. Traffic citations, speeding was 106. Moving violations was 687. Parking was 166. Total citations issued was 1,315. Total calls for service for our district was 8,086. And total calls in just the Ewa Beach area was 2,150. And any questions, comments, or concerns?
Any questions from members of the board? Yep, please step up to the mic, ma'am. State your name. Oh, first you have to smile.
My name is Zoya Schweitzer. I live in Ewa Beach.
Okay.
And I was wondering why the numbers are so high, like on-site citations.
So typically HPD will attend the meetings.
Yeah.
What I have in front of me is actually a trend of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months going back to March. And actually the crime statistics are 1 citation higher than they were in July. So in July it was 1,314 and for August it's 1,315. However, we will allow Officer Corey, can you take her question? She wants to know why the citation numbers are so high for August.
Yes, I guess due to all the accidents and fatalities going on in the whole island. Actually, it's a island-wide project. Each district is actually stepping up its traffic enforcements. For our district, I understand Patrol is having traffic projects where officers are out there strictly to enforce just traffic violations. And then also aware that the traffic division and other support units have been helping out in the traffic safety area. So that could be a reason why for the higher number of citations.
There's a lot of catalytic converters like thefts going on. Is there being their concern or because it had just happened around house and we called the police and they said they cannot do anything even though we gave the script we gave the description of the guy and the car driver license and they said they cannot do anything until the owner of the car, which was not present at that moment when it happened, won't call the police and do the report. So how can we stop the crime if we catch the bad guy and you guys not there and we do report as a good citizens, but it's nothing's happening to the bad guy because of the paperwork and stuff and just the law and the rules that you guys follow.
In order, especially affecting the arrest, a complainant would have to be found. So if it was the owner of the vehicle, they would have to want to pursue charges, yeah. Just because we're not arresting at the time, I know they can contact the owner of the vehicle, make the case. They can list you down as a witness, and then it'll still be under forwarded to our detectives for further investigations to maybe affect arrests in the future times. So that could be a reason why, yeah, there was an arrest affected at that particular time.
Okay, thank you for your service. That's all for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Great question. Any other questions from members of the community in the physical meeting space? Any questions from members of the community online? I would like to go over the trend. So just as a side note, about 5 or 6 years ago, previous to this, HPD only provided 3 months of data. So we petitioned him to provide 6 months of trend data so we could look at whether things are increasing or decreasing. Because if you look at 1 month of statistics, it really doesn't do you any good. So they actually, like I said, if they were in a meeting space, they would hand out several of these forms and you could look at the trend. But that's a great question. I'd like to point out the total citations for March was 957. For April, it went up to 1,205. In May to 970, 1,127 in June. And like I said, 1,314 in July and 1,315 in August. The number of speeding violations or speeding, I guess, citations or tickets. In March, it was 66. In August, it was 106. So I know that's been a big concern in the community, is speeding. So it seems like the HPD is doing some special projects to clamp down on that. Okay, moving on to Eva Weed and Seed.
Yeah, I'll be doing the weed and seed as well. Weed and seed, all I have down is they are having the legacy luncheon at the Okinawan Cultural Center. It's gonna be November 14th, 11 to 1. And for any questions regarding ticket sales or donations, they can contact Gail Braceros. I have her email. It's gonna be GALEB@weedandseedhi.org. So for any questions about the tickets and donations, yeah, can email Gail.
Okay, any questions from board members? Seeing none. Questions from the community?
Hey, my name is Hayden. I'm 15. I live in Eva. I've been wondering about what HPD is doing about vandalism. Like there's a lot of vandalism around Eva. It's kind of, yeah. There's a lot of vandalism. What is HPD doing about it? And what are the statistics?
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Do you know what kind of vandalism? Is it like graffiti or property damage?
All kinds, but mainly graffiti.
Graffiti. Like we always encourage the community, if you guys see anything, just report it right away. That way we can get a patrol officer out there. Every report that is made, they become trends, and that way we can start doing certain enforcements or operations regarding these types of vandalisms. Yeah, so again, we just encourage everybody to just report it if you guys see anything suspicious or hear anything, any property damage or graffiti. Just call 911 and have an officer respond.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep,
Thank you, sir. Stay safe.
thank you.
Moving on to board
Question.
administration.
Sorry, just
Susan?
quick question.
Mhm.
So when there's graffiti and you don't see the person who's done it, you just see it. Does the city have a program where they go out and sandblast it or paint it over?
That all depends if it's either private property or if it's city. Yeah, if it's a city like park or yeah, you can just report it to the city. But if it's like a private property, like a wall, would be up to that business or property owner to take care of the painting over. Yeah.
I see.
But
Thank you.
yeah, again, anything you guys see, just report it to us. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, officer. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Moving on to board administration and planning, approval of initial convening minutes from our last meeting, Thursday, August 14th. Oh, that's right. That's right. Thank you, Jeffrey. Oh, by the way, I wanted to introduce our neighborhood assistants, Jeffrey, small polite golf cop, and Miss Melissa, who actually will be transitioning from her duties from Jeffrey. Okay, so as Jeffrey just reminded me, because we don't have quorum, because we don't have at least 8 members of this 11-member board, we cannot approve or move forward with any significant administration. But we can do some presentations. We're going to start with 2. Now, these are different. We're not going to vote on these tonight, but we do have considerations. And I worded this specifically for this reason, because I did get information that some of our board members would not attend tonight. First one is item 3B, consideration and approval to adopt a forthcoming resolution, which is urging immediate action to improve children's safety along sidewalks on Papipi Road, fronting Ella Beach Elementary School. I understand there may be some parents in the audience that have some concerns regarding this. Okay. So I have a presentation. It's up to you. You can speak first, and then I can do the presentation, or you can do the I can do the presentation first, and then you can speak. Okay. We'll do the presentation that way everyone is aware of the issue at hand. So regardless of where you live in Eva, I'm sure everyone is familiar with Ella Beach Elementary School. My 2 daughters went there, started out from kindergarten. Now they're somewhere on the mainland in college. They went to Eva, they went to the middle school here, and they graduated from Campbell. But everyone knows that tremendous throng of students that comes through Papipi Road every day. I think we're going to go back and forth with the light. Oh, it's in PowerPoint. Okay. Okay, so what I try to do when I do presentations, hint all those that want to give a presentation in the future. I try to cover the 5 W's and 1 small H: who, what, where, when, why, how. And I'll just kind of blow through these slides rather quickly. Slide, please. So this is the intro to the slide. I just introduced the consideration. Again, this is different than a resolution. If this had been a full resolution, we'd read the resolution and our board members would vote on it. But because we don't have quorum, and I anticipated that, we're just going to go ahead and review the issue at hand. So if we notice here on the sidewalk, Ella Beach Elementary is on the left-hand side, and that's Pepe Road with the vehicle heading towards Howbush. Next slide. Want to draw your attention to, and this has come up before at this board meeting a couple years ago, several years ago actually, is the placement of these signs in the middle of the sidewalk. And it's actually something that we recognize as very dangerous several years ago. Because as I mentioned earlier, there's a tremendous throng of students, many of them around 5, 6, 7 years old, that navigate along this sidewalk. And dare I say, sometimes people speed on Pepe Road, okay? But even when they don't speed, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and especially some of the 8, 9-year-olds that ride their bikes, they're not really aware of the physics involved, what could happen when you try to navigate around these signs. So the primary issue is there's not enough room on these sidewalks for these little kids to navigate through. Next slide. And the reason I'm showing this slide is there's actually several signs along this. I point out the manhole. By the way, become familiar with the purple arrow because you're going to see that quite often in some of these slides. What if you go back a slide, Jeffrey? Yeah, so there's no manhole there. And then the first slide, there was no manhole at that one either. So my major point is there's several signs. And I look at each one of those signs as a potential life-threatening accident waiting to happen, literally. We can blow through the next couple. Yeah. One more. So we'll hold there. And then if we could have any parents that would like to speak, please come up to the podiums. Remember, smile first. State your name.
My name is Rachel Kuchar. I have 3 kids at Eva Beach Elementary, and we love riding bikes. We ride bikes every morning. However, my kindergartner, who is 5 years old, great bike rider, his back tire nicked one of those posts, and just slow motion, he wasn't going fast or being reckless. He tipped over, but because that sidewalk butts up to Pepe Road, he fell into the road. I was the first time I've ever screamed bloody murder. Thankfully, the cars weren't driving fast because it was busy with school traffic, but there's just no room for error. And there's kids coming through on e-bikes, going to Campbell. That sidewalk's just so busy that we either need some sort of barrier or buffer before the road on top of removing the signs just for safety of the kids.
Thank you, Rachel. Louder golf clap, louder golf clap. Any other parents that want to speak on this issue? Thought you said you were 15. You're not a parent, are you? Come, please. State your name, smile.
Hi, my name is Hayden. Basically, yeah, I'm 15. I go to high school, go to HCA, but I do bike around PB all the time. I'm running errands and stuff. Basically, it's really hard. As someone who actually goes around, it's really hard to bike around it because when you're biking, you have to swerve around to the left and to the right, which is very, very, very dangerous, especially when there's more than one biker on both sides. I have nearly collided multiple times on a scooter, on a bike with a lot of random people. People swerve around. It's really hard to navigate. Removing these signs would be incredibly helpful.
Thank you, Hayden. So typically, when we have quorum, we would debate. So I'd like to open up now for discussion or debate with other board members and ask if there's any questions from the member in the meeting space or members online. Seeing that? Oh, Susan? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Susan Gorman Chang. What are the signs? Are they speed limit signs? Are they? I mean, I agree they should be taken down, but I was just curious what kind of signs they are.
Speed limit, and I believe a couple no parking signs. And is any of the parents familiar with? I'm going to call third-party leveraging here. My wife took these photos. I would have taken them to include what's on the sign, but my wife took these photos.
No problem. And also, who would we contact to get those signs taken out of that location? Because I agree it's dangerous.
So this is actually a very interesting point. Glad you asked that question, Susan. So when we addressed this several years ago, apparently DOT came in and moved the signs 4 inches. You remember that, Jeffrey? They came back and made a report and said, we moved the signs. And we're like, what do you mean you moved the signs? You know, I love engineers. God bless them. We have bridges and we have so many other things, but I don't think anybody really let this thought sink in of what was the goal of the project. The goal of the project in my household, when my girls grew up, if you call them right now in Michigan and New York and say, what's daddy's number one rule? They'll say safety first. They'll say it just like that. That's my number one rule. And I believe it should be the same way for our community. And I don't think safety first was the prime thing here. And I get it. We want to optimize space. But I believe, to answer your question, that DOT can actually come back. If we get the community support behind it, and what I'd like to do is start with the board at the next meeting to do a resolution, and I will write that resolution. Mike, you have something to add here, sir?
Just, do we have a suggested alternative as to where we would move them?
Right. So, but as Jeffrey pointed out, what I asked them to do before was to move the signs all the way to the grass. So if we do that, then the city claims, and rather authentically, that then we are hindering view of the signs from the drivers along the road. So it's like driver safety versus pedestrian safety. But I think if we put enough brain power behind this, we can probably figure it out. And probably what we probably should do is make it a project. Yes, ma'am. Come on up. We can probably make it a project for one of the kids or some of the kids at Everett Beach Elementary School to come up with an idea.
I have a picture right here.
State your name.
Hi, Caitlin Ward. I'm a parent.
Caitlin
Ward.
Ward. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I'm a parent at Everett Beach. I have 4 kids. I love to bike and walk as well. I love her idea mentioned. Thank you. About putting up a barrier. I have a picture of my 3-year-old daughter on a scooter going down that road, and this is my 3rd year in Everett Beach. I have stopped biking and going with my kids because I'm very nervous with my 3-year-old on the scooter. It was very scary watching her on the road, or on the sidewalk, and I think a barrier would be a great way to keep kids. I've seen kids go off the sidewalk. Fortunately, it's when cars aren't there or when cars have been going slow and stop, but that's not always the case. We have all seen people go fast on that road. It's very scary. To your point, putting the signs on the grass or dirt would make them very hard to see, especially with the bus stops there. So if you put a barrier along the edge of the sidewalk, I can imagine you could put the posts on top of it.
Oh, that's an idea. Okay.
Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Go ahead and answer your
So
question.
I'm wondering, can they not see the signage if we put it on the grass due to foliage? Or is it trees or?
I think there's a requirement that they have to be so many inches from the curb itself.
Okay,
Yeah, and that's why they moved it like 4 inches because they want to keep it within it. Because if they'd have moved it like say, and I know I'm just trying to recall, if it was 18 inches, if they moved it to the full 18 inches, it would have been smack dab in the middle of the sidewalk.
when you say barrier, do you refer to almost like a fence or, okay? It looks like it was too much distance from the sidewalk.
Right. So we'll have to invite.
I'm just curious because I don't know if I've seen a barrier like that
Yeah, there's no bus stop on that
on that
stretch.
street.
Yeah, the bus stop is closer to the school.
There's
There
bus
is?
I'm absolutely not against it. I'm just curious. I don't know if I've seen like in Hawaii, a barrier down the curb, like a fence down the curb like that. And some,
Yeah, I think one of the primary issues, and I know I'm going to get a lot of trouble for saying this, is there's easement on the other side. And when Ocean Point was built, they didn't do the easement, in my opinion, into Ocean Point because the developer wanted to optimize and maximize that space. Sidewalks kind of narrow. So with this in mind is what we're going to do is we'll table it until the next meeting. Oh, I'm sorry. Zach, you have a hand up?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just a couple things. Maybe we should look at maybe consolidating the signs. Could the speed limit and no parking be on one pole to lessen the amount of signs that are on that sidewalk? And then second, do we know how wide the sidewalk is? Because my understanding is to comply with ADA, it needs to be 4 to 5 feet, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know how wide that, it is deceiving. An issue came up with the new VA center over near Costco in Copper Lake. And the sidewalks look really narrow over there, but they're actually 5 feet wide. And actually they may be 6 feet wide. And it doesn't look like it when you have a picture of them. These are probably at least 4 feet wide. I'm not sure though, but I can measure them for when we have the discussion at next month's board meeting. Yeah, we're having one next month. Yeah, October.
Thank you.
But I love your suggestions, board member Zach. Great ideas for the barriers. Caitlin. Yes, ma'am.
Zoe Schweitzer. So approximately how long do you think it's gonna take to fix this issue? I think it's not new and it takes very slow. When you're trying to do something right in Hawaii, it takes complaining us and complaining. It gets on our nerves and we don't trust in the system anymore. So I wonder, maybe is there anything we can do to speed up the process?
Absolutely. Great question. And thank you for that great question. What you're doing right now is actually a great thing to do. If you could get 10 more parents here, because what winds up happening is we're going to wind up talking about another topic here in a minute about air conditioning. Okay. There used to be no air conditioning at all in Ella Beach Elementary School. There used to be very little air conditioning over in Alima. There used to be very little air conditioning at James Campbell High School. This meeting space was the impetus for quite a few resolutions put forward where we actually, I'll say, coordinated with our elected officials to get something done about those things. Okay, so it may seem like it's going to take those speed bumps in front of Ella Beach Elementary. That started right here. The speed bumps along Hanakai'i Street. That effort started right here. The elected officials do come to these meetings and they do listen. There are strength in numbers. And so the more parents that are here, the more people are talking about it, because at some point the media gets involved. With regard to air conditioning, back in 2015, 2016, we had a stretch of a week of 99-degree temperature days. One of the teachers actually, she had to get hospitalized. She went to the hospital because she passed out at school. So I was the education chair at the time. I called an emergency meeting of the education committee at Ella Beach Elementary during the day. And I called a couple of friends in the media. So it gets that start going, and then you can get a lot done. I say you, but I mean we, the community writ large. It's amazing what you can do when you put some effort behind it. But as it stands, sometimes apathy is the killer, because of the way elected officials see it is, if the community doesn't care, then they don't care. But great question. All right. I think no more questions. We'll move on to the next presentation. So for the minutes, Jeffrey, actually, I'd like to annotate that we're going to table this discussion and action pending resolution. Yes, yes. So the next item up is an update. Well, we're going to discuss an update on the Department of Education's heat abatement efforts as we do another consideration and approval to adopt a forthcoming resolution of urgent immediate action to repair air conditioning systems at EVA area schools. Actually, Jeffrey, yeah, yeah. Try to make it easy. All right. So just for background, for those that aren't parents of some of the schools here, DOE, Department of Education, recently came out, actually the state did an audit, and it was some pretty surprising findings. Next slide. The 50-page audit is actually on the community drive, and I can actually, if you provide an email address, I can get you a PDF copy of it. Next slide. It's pretty, and I'll use the word damning, against the state's management of the implementation of air conditioning. I think the intentions were great, but as you can see highlighted in yellow there, that pretty much sums up what the audit says about the DOE's implementation of air conditioning at some of the schools. And again, this is nothing against, I want to state this up front, nothing against the staff, the parents, the teachers of the schools here in the EVA area. I'd also like to point out again that we initiated this effort, the community, the board members, at this community forum. I was elected to the board in 2015. My first official act was becoming the education chair. And I don't want to make this a John Clark meeting, but I'm passionate about education. It's one thing that I believe is a great equalizer. I could tell you more, but I'll save that for later. In red, the department had recently issued a memo rescinding schools' authority to execute construction contracts, which the DOE official claimed effectively ended the program. So basically, when DOE implemented this great big air conditioning improvement plan, actually they had to pull back the request for proposal when they first put it out for proposal to get the upgrades done. Because I don't remember what the number was, but say it was $100 million that they were going to spend on this project. The proposals came in at something like $200 million. So they came in at an estimated cost from contractors of a magnitude above what they thought it was going to cost. And of course, DOE and the state wasn't going to pay that amount of money. And some of the schools like Eva Beach Elementary School, once they started looking at upgrading the AC systems, they realized that the electrical systems couldn't handle the upgrades. And because they couldn't handle the upgrades, they had to upgrade the electrical systems first. There was discussion about solar, but it was a massive project. Going back to what I talked about earlier, when the teacher passed out at the school, that got a lot of media attention, and that's when Governor Ige put in his 1,000 classrooms cooling initiative, and that actually it worked. But what didn't work was the maintenance plan associated with it. And some people say the designs were bad as well, because the air conditioning units weren't right size for the size of the classrooms. At the time, DOE had a policy you could only use the air conditionings, I think, for 5 hours a day. So what I want to do is a couple different things here. Just like the previous consideration, because we don't have 8 members on this board tonight, we're going to consider it for a resolution at next month's meeting. But I do want to take input from the community as well as board members to answer any of your questions. I do want to note that we do have DOE officials, Department of Education, State of Hawaii officials in our meeting space tonight. And this is a watershed moment for me. We have a principal. Would you like to come up to the mic, sir?
Aloha, Jay.
Smile, Jay.
Big smile. Aloha, Jalen, proud principal, honored to serve our community. Thank you.
Principal of?
Eva Beach Elementary.
Eva Beach Elementary, okay.
Thank you. Maybe I'm nervous.
We'll have to show this to your students. Okay. And we also have another neighborhood board member from another neighborhood board and also a DOE official. I would like to introduce you as well, if you could.
Good evening, board members. Audrey Dowdle, interim assistant superintendent for the Department of Education. I'm here to observe and take questions.
Okay,
Thank
thank you very much. We appreciate it. Interim assistant. Interim assistant superintendent for which area? Yeah. It's the whole state. Oh, okay. Excellent. So,
For construction, I just have a little bucket all by myself compared to the whole DOE.
okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate you being here. Oh, please. Thank you. Principal Jay, thank you.
You. Hi, I'm Cindy Otsu. I'm interim complex area superintendent for Campbell Copley, and I'm just here to support Eva Beach Elementary and their parents.
Excellent. Thank you. Support the school and their parents. Wow. Wow. Again, watershed moment. So I want to open it up for discussion or questions by the board. I'm not sure how many board members are tracking the audit report. I did place it in the community drive to review it. It's pretty extensive. It's 50 pages, but I want to use this word again. It's pretty damning against the state and how they implemented the AC. I understand there's some parents here that maybe want to talk, the same parents that talked before. Any parents want to? It's air conditioning.
So recently
Name.
yes, Zoya Schweitzer, my son goes to Eva Beach Elementary. And like you said, there was I talked to Delia Clark about the air conditioning in the classroom. And recently, a couple of them just got broken. And I talked to a teacher, she said it's because they're solar and they are waiting for them to be fixed. Like you said, the solar ones, they don't work very good. And I read, sorry, I don't think you said that. I read it today on the newspapers that it was one of the solutions why they cannot install the air conditioning with electricity. So they tried to use the solar, and the solar panels were put in the wrong directions. Like some of them were under the tree, some of them were not facing the sun directly. And in all that chaos, our children are suffering. And my son, I picked him up, so I grabbed his hand and he was all sticky. I said, why are you so sticky? I thought that he was running during recess. And he said, oh, there's AC got broke down in my classroom. I don't know when it's gonna be fixed, but kids, they don't speak for themselves. And I feel like nagging almost, asking other officials, sending him emails. But what happens is they take my emails and they blast principal with the, like, do something. But if they're not being financed, so what they can do? And if my voice is not being heard, so like everybody's just pointing fingers at each other, that's what I feel like. And then the problem is not solved, and the children are still sitting in hot rooms. And what are we waiting for them to pass out too, just like the teacher, to bring the attention of the news? Just getting, I getting frustrated.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Any other parents? Yes, ma'am. Uh-oh, she's got a notebook. That's good. I like that.
I smile. Hello. Hello, my name is Kilohana Lele. I am a proud parent, also of a child at Eva Beach Elementary School. I am one of the parent representatives on our school community council. So I'm here to support the school, support our teachers, our parents, but most importantly, advocate for our kids. And it's a little emotional when it comes to kids, right? So my son, he wanted me to read this to the board. He's at home bathing, getting ready for school tomorrow, but these are his words. So on his behalf, I'd like to read this, if that's okay.
Please.
Hello, my name is Tamotoa Lele. I am a student of Eva Beach Elementary School. I am in 5th grade in classroom C21. I have been attending Eva Beach Elementary School since kindergarten. Our classrooms have had terrible trouble getting cooled by the AC. It is uncomfortable. My fellow classmates and I have a difficult time cooling down. I feel that our classrooms at Eva Beach Elementary School deserve to have improved AC systems because our students should have fun and enjoy learning in our classroom. Please help us cool our classrooms so we can have a cool school year. Tamotoa Lele. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's so hot that me and my classmates can't focus.
Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you, Kilahana. I'm not gonna give him an A- for not saying his name. So he gets an A+ for coming up. What's your name? Charlie? You did an awesome job, Charlie. Awesome. I'm going to open up to board members for discussion. Susan?
Yeah, first I want to thank the parents who have come out and the kids who've come out and the child who wrote that letter. I really thank you. I know how busy you are with parents, being parents of little kids. So I just appreciate you coming out. This is what community is all about. And I do, as the one child said, it does affect people's focus, kids, adults' ability to focus. It affects your brain function. It's not just like a nice thing to have. A good environment that's not too hot is critical for learning. So yeah, I also feel very passionate about this. And just a question. So it sounds like the air conditionings are installed per room, right? There's 1 unit per room. Is that right? It's not central air. It's one per room.
That's correct, Susan.
Okay. And are they split air or are they the box?
I believe at
Window.
different schools, some have split air and some have window units. Is that correct?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So but from what I'm hearing, there was just no money put aside for maintenance, and of course they break down, and they also need servicing, right? That's kind of the issue, that they kind of put them in and forgot them?
That's, I guess, the bottom line. That's the gist of it. Yes. They
Okay,
went,
yeah. I am all in favor of getting these kids their air conditioning. That is ridiculous. So thank you, and thank you to the parents and the kids.
Thank you, Susan. Mike, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. This is infuriating, excuse me. We just addressed this. We spent an unchangeable amount of money to do the right thing and get these classrooms cooled. My understanding is it's somewhere on the order of $100,000 per classroom. And here we are again. I fully support us getting this right, and I sure hope that this time we can do it in a manner that's more efficient with the taxpayers' money, and we don't squander this change that it's going to take to solve this problem. I mean, it definitely needs to be solved, but where did that money go? Anyway, it's just a comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd also like to, I've taught over 10 years and I've taught in some hot classrooms and that is equally frustrating. It's tough to learn, it's tough to teach in a hot classroom. Even when I was young, I went to IA High School and only some of the classrooms had AC, and if you got those, you were living the dream. It just sounds like not only was it an oversight not to budget for maintenance, but even preventive maintenance would have probably saved a ton of money. So whatever plan we have going forward, I hope that at least it's not only budgeted for maintenance but preventive maintenance would probably stretch our dollar a lot further. So hopefully, yeah.
Okay, we could probably talk on this all night. I do want to bring up the principal of Ella Beach Elementary School, if you're willing to say a few words, sir.
Aloha again. I just want to attest to what the students are feeling, what the parents are feeling. And I do appreciate as we meet with the families that they've shared these concerns with us. And I really liked and appreciate the multiplier effect, right? The more parents, the more community members that come out, then we can really push and collaborate together. And so because of them, their voices were amplified, right? And so I'm really grateful to have our assistant superintendent, our interim Audrey Hidano, right, who oversees facilities, who can help support us. And then I also really appreciate having our interim complex area superintendent as well, Cindy Otsu, to support us. As we move forward, if I could share just a few solutions.
Please.
Okay. My hope is as we move forward together and collaborate that we can really think about the cost effectiveness and the sustainability, right? So I do propose an evaluation of simpler conventional AC systems, right? Such as window units, which are easier to install and maintain and may provide better cooling, right? Because this new technology that we had, right? Solar's great, but if the sun is not out and there's overcast, then the AC's shut down, right? And so that means no cooling. And it takes over 2 hours to cool the room, right? So that's one situation. Another potential solution is to really establish clear policies, right? So implement and enforce a clear written policy of the school-directed AC program, right? To ensure schools follow proper procedures for electrical assessments and installations, right? So that way there's a book, right? A manual, if you will, right? That we as schools can follow and support, and then also bring that to the facilities maintenance branch so we can work together and collaborate.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very eloquently put. Thank you. We could talk on this all night, so I am going to have to purposely cut it short. I do want to wrap it up with a little bit of history, and a lot of it has to segue from what you said, Principal Jay. So when this first started, we really put this project in earnest to get the schools cooled here in Ella 9 years ago. To be quite candid with you, the Department of Education and the Ledge were going like this. The Ledge was saying, we gave you money, DOE saying, we use that money to fix our facilities, not to build our facilities. This went on for quite a while until we started holding the legislators, the elected officials, accountable at this meeting. And what I specifically asked them, and I'm going to do that again, was what are you doing differently? I've provided testimony up in the Square building downtown, and I encourage parents, and I know a lot of us work, but if you get the opportunity to go down there and talk to the Education Committee, the Board of Education, by all means do it. And I'll try to get that information to the parents or to the SCC at Ella Beach Elementary, as well as other area schools. Something else with Ella Beach Elementary that came into play was the Department of Education, and not so much the Ledge, but they wanted it to be revenue or cost neutral when they put in the AC systems. They said it can't cost any more than what it cost before, which is kind of ridiculous because when you think about other schools across the island, they had central air. So over in Ella, and even over to further west, the hottest schools on the island, and they were told, you know what, you can't, we can't pay more electricity there. So to your point, Principal Jay, I'm willing to say, you know what, I like sustainability, but I would rather have cooler rooms. If that costs a little bit more, so be it. You know, the children are our future. In 20 years, they're going to be sitting here. In 30 years, they're going to be a principal. So you are older than I am, right? It was interesting at the time. I remember the superintendent for facilities, I'm not going to mention his name. He said, solar is not a proven technology. Of course, solar was a proven technology, but to your point, we have to be smart with our design choices. And the collaborative point, I think that's the best point of all that you made. Bringing on the best engineers. And I think the contractors have to get it right too. They can't just be in this for the buck. That's kind of my take on it. So again, we're going to table this for resolution at the next board meeting when we have most of our board members here. I would really like if all of you could come back, that would be great. Bring 10 of your friends. And again, I want to wrap this up by saying I am especially appreciative that the interim CAS is here and the interim assistant superintendent. I mean, for those of you that don't know, that is huge. You know, I think the only way I could feel better is if the big guys were here. So, but thank you. I think have we beat this one to death, Jeffrey? Okay, we'll move on to community information. Now, these next items are going to be, as the chair, I get a lot of emails from people that ask me to share information with the board. I'm going to run through these slides rather quickly, okay, because I've been talking a lot. Usually the rest of the board members are up here talking, but I'm talking a lot. I get emails from people saying, share this with your board. I want to share this information with the community, not with just the board members. So this first one is a community information and overview of the Kalaloa Regional Park website. Next slide. I'll give you the website, but this website is up and running now. And I encourage the community to go take a look at it. And this next slides will begin to tell you why. Next slide, sir. There's that purple arrow. I'm going to read that second bullet out loud. The development of an interim dirt racetrack through a public-private partnership while that larger master plan is crafted. How is that worded? A more permanent racetrack location and layout can be determined through the master plan. I want you to pay attention to that word can. That is a neat way that some elected officials get around. They play both sides against the middle here, okay? They say it can be. They're not saying it will be. They're saying it can be. So that way the people that don't want a racetrack don't get all spun up. The people that do want a racetrack get happy. Okay, so it doesn't matter which side of the fence that you're on, but as residents of this community, you need to weigh in. So please go to this website. Next slide, please, Jeffrey. It points out the whole park parcel. It's like 400 acres over in Kapolei, and what the current plans are, what the ideas are, what can happen. Next slide, please. Oh, did you? I thought I put the website. Oh, the website is at the bottom. Thank you, Jeffrey. So I don't know if you want to take a picture of that, but I encourage you. I mean, this is our home. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's planned over there, and residents really need to chime in on what you want, and perhaps more importantly, what you don't want over there. Thank you. Any questions on this? Questions from members of the board? Yes, ma'am.
Because you have more experience, can you give us an idea what should we ask?
Well, it depends on what you want and what you don't want. I would just suggest that you peruse the website, write your questions down, and come back to the neighborhood board meeting. The elected officials will be here later on tonight. They have a place on here every month, not just and if they're not here, their representatives are usually here. We have different representatives of the representatives that come here.
Would it be like, can I ask for a good playground over there?
Yes, in fact, there's another information brief, a few slides after this that will tell you how to do that.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions from board members or community members? Okay. Good to go. So we'll move on to the next item, which is climate action pathways. Oh man, Tara's not here tonight. We have a passionate member of our community that is really into making sure that the INA is taken care of, and I was hoping that she would be here tonight. So I got an email again regarding this one. Next slide, Jeffrey. And this is their email that they talked about. They want to share this Hawaii Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation, Commission. And then some ideas. I'm not going to make you read all that. Again, it's in the community drive, and I can give you directions on how to get to that drive if you'd like. Next slide. That is the website there. That is a snapshot of the web page. And those little black boxes at the bottom, those are all the web links and the different parts of how you can get involved in your community to become part of the Hawaii Climate Action Pathways. Any questions there? And again, this is just informative. It's information only. Yes, ma'am, Susan.
Yes, comments. So I have used this website. I put, it's really easy to use. It is the best format I've ever seen for getting public feedback on a plan. I clicked on the waste section and I, read what they had in mind and put suggestions. And the other good thing about this is you can see other people's suggestions, pros and cons for, whatever a piece of the plan is. And then you can sort of piggyback off of their ideas. You can put in references that says, like I put in a reference for Los Angeles and San Francisco, who've done a really good job of getting the green waste, like carrot tops from your kitchen, right, into the green can, and how that has decreased the methane at their landfills. So you can put in, research or articles or something. But again, it's the best format I've seen in giving feedback for a plan, really user-friendly.
Thank you for that awesome feedback, Susan. Any question from members of the community or other members of the board? Okay. Thank you. Oh, and the last slide, actually, Jeffrey, if you go back to the presentation, is actually the contact information for the climate outreach leader. His telephone number, website, and the Facebook and Instagram for those. Next slide. Next slide. Right there. So if anybody wants to get more involved, you can take a quick screenshot of that. Next slide. And the final community information item is a review of the revised charter of the city and county of Honolulu. This one I'm going to have a little bit of fun with. Next slide. So the Charter Commission is actually, I'll just read that highlighted part. As part of this process, we are reaching out to neighborhood boards across Oahu to invite your participation and input. And then the underlying part says the commission welcomes proposals for amendments to the charter from community members, organizations, and neighborhood boards such as yours. Okay, so this gets to your question of how do we do this? Okay, next slide, please. So you just go to this website, and I'll give you the URL in just a moment, but I wanted you to see how simple it is. Next slide. Tells you what the Charter Commission is, and I'll stop right here just to kind of read it because I do think it's important. The commission is tasked with identifying outdated language, inefficiencies, and opportunities to improve how the city and county of Honolulu serves its people. Any changes the commission recommends will appear as questions on the November 2026 ballot. See how this works? Start here, get this information, go to this website. Voters will have the final say. Here's what's interesting. Click on that meet the commission, the little green, or just next slide. If you click on that, it shows you who are the commissioners. See that picture of that bottom right hand right there? Next slide. That is Mr. Trey Gordner. Guess where Mr. Trey Gordner was about 7 months ago? He was in that seat where Noah's sitting. He was on the Eva Neighborhood Board. And now he's a member of the Charter Commission. Okay, so we actually have an N. Okay, if you really want to change what we're doing here across City and County of Honolulu, start here. Okay, I have Trey on speed dial. I'll give you his number. I'm sure he won't mind. Next slide. So the whole point of this is your idea, your concepts. If you got a group of people that you're working with, like putting a barrier up on Papipi Road. Okay. So if the elected officials aren't listening to you here, this is another route to do it. See my evil plan? Okay. This is how we have to work it. We got to work it from multiple angles sometimes if you really want to do it. Okay. And then I don't want to sound, self-edifying here, but can't always be about the board or me. Okay. Community action, this is where it starts. Okay. If your friend has a concept, let's do it. So I'm not sure, can you zoom in? Oh, actually, next slide. So that there's that purple arrow again, but I guess we can't. Can we show that? That says your proposal, whatever it is, and it's cookbook. You zoom back out, Jeffrey. So if you go down that list, it actually has stuff like paste an excerpt or describe briefly what the current charter language is, rationale and intended impact. I want my children to be safe. I want future children who walk along these sidewalks to be safe. I don't want them to be injured. Okay. This is how you put your proposal to affect our community. Okay. Next slide. This is a timeline of how it goes. So now until November 7th is a proposal submission period. So we have plenty of time. Think about how much time we have between now and Halloween. Did you get your Halloween shopping done? Because I'm telling you, Home Depot sells out fast. Okay. Public review and hearings from winter through April. Remember, this is going on the ballot for some of these things. Okay. Final proposals are selected in spring. In August is when all of the marketing starts. Okay. And we could bring the media in to talk about what's going on here. And then election day. And our items could be on the ballot. Okay. Any questions from members of the board? Questions from members of the community? Okay. We need to go back to the presentation. Sorry, Jeffrey. The link. They'll have the link posted there. Oh, no, that's the wrong link. What did I do? I messed this up big time. Okay. That's the regional park one. Oh, well, I was in a hurry. I wanted to make sure I got Trey's picture. Oh, there it is right there. Right there, yeah. So you can take a picture of that. It's really simple. It's honolulucitycouncil.org/charter-commission. Oh, really? Oh, nice. Jeffrey says there's handouts in the back of the room for those in the room if you want to get some handouts. Okay. And with that, we'll move on. Thank you. Seeing no questions? You kindly get the light, sir. Thank you. Yes, I'm sorry, I went out of order there. Verizon's presentation for Verizon's proposed new antenna facility at Coral Creek Golf Course. Are they online? No board members, no Verizon. Okay. All right. That's it for presentations. We'll move on to residents and community concerns and community announcements. It's so crowded in the room. Any residents and concerns, residents with concerns or community announcements, you can go to the mic, smile, state your name, and make your announcement. Seeing no one in the physical meeting space, we'll move online. Jolie.
Hi, thank you for letting me speak tonight. I just have a very brief community announcement. So my name is Jolie Numasaki. I'm a community engagement specialist at the Red Hill Registry team through the University of Hawaii and University Health Partners. So 2 months ago, I had the pleasure of presenting about the registry at one of these board meetings. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you again tonight, as the registry has a really exciting update to share with everyone. Just for anyone who is not aware, the Red Hill Registry is an independent 100% opt-in registry, which was co-developed with the community to track various health impacts of the Red Hill fuel spill on the exposed community, which applies to approximately 93,000 individuals and approximately 9,600 homes along the Navy's waterline, some of which are located right here in Ewa. So the registry's goals are to gather data from the exposed community to track the health effects over time, and to also connect participants to needed health, social, and community-based services. We also want to provide community and healthcare providers with in-depth educational materials. So our exciting update that we have to share is in this past August, the Red Hill Registry officially opened for enrollment. So we are encouraging those who have experienced the Red Hill water crisis to go to the registry's website, which is going to be redhillregistry.org, and click the Join the Registry button. By doing so, you'll be asked to fill out a pre-enrollment survey, which will be followed by an email with instructions on next steps you can take. By visiting the website, you can also take part in our referral program, which connects people to necessary resources through our nationwide referral platform, which is called Unite Us. Through this platform, our team of community engagement specialists, including myself, can work with participants to assist enrollees by connecting people to the referrals. These are going to be different kind of community-based organizations and resources that they might need. For more information on the registry and how you can join, you can visit our registry's website, again, which is going to be redhillregistry.org, or email info@redhillregistry.org if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jolie. Any questions from members of the board? Seeing none. Any questions from members of the community? Seeing none. I just have one question, Jolie. You said it's for people who experienced the Red Hill water crisis. Can you elaborate on what that means?
Yeah, of course. So, as we know, back in November of 2021, the Navy reported a fuel leak. So this is basically jet fuel that leaked into the Navy's water line, which affected the given numbers of the 93,000 people. This also included like the water that went to the 9,600 homes. We try and use as inclusive language as we can, because in May of that year, there was another reported leak. So although we don't want to isolate this fuel spill incident to a specific time range, we want to acknowledge that people who maybe have been drinking the water before November 21 to after March 3rd, which is when the drinking water ordinance ended. We just want to be as inclusive as possible. Even if people may have drank that water, bathed in it, used it to water their grass, even if they had no immediate health effects, which is what I kind of think the news and like people may have heard of, have been affecting people. Even if you had no health effects or just like, sorry, anything at all, we still want to hear from you. We still want you to at least take our pre-enrollment survey, and that way our team can evaluate, how you can enroll in your program. And we also have a very inclusive referral program available. If you go directly to our website, anybody in the public is able to use the Unite Us platform without having to go through that full enrollment process.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Wait.
Point.
Actually, Ms. Gorman Chang has a question, Jolie.
Oh, not
Go
a
ahead.
question, but I guess a statement. So for Eva Beach, this includes Capilina Beach homes, because although they're, private rentals at this point, they are on the Navy water line. So they were initially told they weren't. And so there have been a lot of people there impacted by this. And also that was a place where they flushed the water out of their homes into the yard. So there could have been contamination to the soil, to the grass, to the plants. So yeah, that is, it is directly in Eva Beach via Capilina Beach homes for sure.
Thank you, Susan. Appreciate your comment. Thank you, Jolie. Moving on to other monthly reports. This is where it gets fun. Limited to 3 minutes per report. Follow-up questions and answers and comments are limited to one turn, 1 minute per person. Beginning with Hunt Communities Update. Seeing none in the community space. Nothing online. Thank you, Jeffrey. Gentry Homes Update. Thank you. Pasico Homes Update.
Hi, John. No update.
Thank you, Lisa. DR Horton Ho'opili Update. Thank you, Jeffrey. Moving on to item number 7, government officials, limited to 3 minutes per report. Follow-up questions and answers and comments are limited to one turn, 1 minute per person. Beginning with U.S. Marine Corps Base, Hawaii, Duty Officer.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board, and community members. I'm First Lieutenant Haley Arms, a Communications Strategy Officer at Marine Corps Base Hawaii. There are not a lot of updates this month, but the sand fence for PRTF will be constructed later this August. And those are all the updates that are currently. Any questions?
Questions from members of the board? Mr. Plowman, you are recognized, sir.
Hi, I didn't hear exactly what you said was going to be constructed. Could you elaborate on that a little bit, please?
The sand fence for PRTF will be constructed later this month.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board members? Seeing none, questions from members of the community? Ms. Kilohana. State your name. Smile.
Hello. Hi. I'm Kilohana Lele.
Yes, ma'am.
I just was wondering, can you explain the acronyms? Is PR, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you were talking about. I just want to make sure I understand.
Training facility.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from members of the community online or in the space? Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to the United States Navy. BDUs today, right?
Working uniform, Huya. Hi, good evening, Chair, board members, and community members. I'm Chief Jose Hayen. I'm the Media Operations Senior Enlisted Advisor at Navy Region Hawaii. It's good to be here. Good to see everyone. Just a few quick items for you this evening, starting with our weekly Molelo. This is our newsletter. If you'd like to be added to that distribution list, I'd be happy to add you. It comes out every Wednesday around noon, but don't quote me on the noon part. But it is every Wednesday for sure. Monthly ship tours, so those are back. Potential dates that we have right now, September 20th and the 27th, runs from Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 10:45 in the morning. So if you'd like to get on a Navy ship that's active and you get to interact with sailors, you know, get to see what they do on a day-to-day in port, please let us know. We'll be happy to get you on one of those, okay? So again, 20 September and 27th. That's what we have a dock at the moment. Same thing with community white boats. If you're interested in doing a Pearl Harbor tour or tour of the Arizona Memorial, please let us know and we'll get you signed up. Exciting news with Laulima Navy 2025. The goal was 250. We actually exceeded that, 276 acts of community service, well ahead of our goal next month of 250. So if I could bet at that, I would have, but we got it done. So thank you for your support on that and standing by for any questions. That's all I have.
Right. Any questions from members of the board? Mr. Plowman, you're recognized.
Hi, yes, I had asked a couple of months ago if we could have an update on the project for the expansion of weapons magazines at NAVMAG Lu'ulu'ulei. The significant number of new magazines that are going to be built is also going to impact us because the bypass road is going to be moved back right up against the homes over by Honoloa Street and other streets. So I'm wondering if we could get an update on when we can expect the bypass road to be relocated and where we might be on that project. The environmental assessment was about 2 years ago, maybe even 3 now, if I'm thinking right. So if you could just take it back to your command to have them update us on that, or if you could update us next month or at your convenience, it would be helpful because we're wondering about it. So thanks very much.
Absolutely. And I'll be happy to give you the update next month, or I'll reach out to you via email or the end chair as well.
Great. Thank you very much.
Of course. Have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to United States Army duty officer. Not in the physical meeting space, not online. Okay. Moving on to U.S. Representative Ed Case quarterly report. Okay. So no representative this month. Mayor Rick Blangiardi's representative. Okay, thanks, Jeff. Councilmember District 1, Andrea Tupola. Councilmember District 9, Augie Toba.
Aloha, Chair.
Aloha.
Board members, Aaron Michael Ho from the Office of Councilmember Augie Toba. Can we confirm that he's not online right now? Because earlier the council member was at the mayor's 9/11 remembrance event. He said he was going to try and port in if he got out in time. No? Okay. So I did obviously hand out the bulletin to you. There are extra copies on the back table if you'd like it. I don't have a lot of updates for you. A lot of our work for the last month has been in Ani Ani Place, which I know is not in Eva, but it's still a part of our council district. So we've been working with the residents out in Ani Ani Place to kind of, get them to take more of a active role in like making their environment or their community a great place to live. So we had a community event or a community meeting with them on Monday, and we're going to have a cleanup, a beautification on Saturday. So if you're feeling generous with your time, we'll be out there from 8 to 10 a.m. on Saturday. Other than that, I will take any questions.
Excellent. Thank you for the concise brief. Any questions from board members? Questions from or comments from members of the community online or in the physical space? Seeing none? Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. Our regards to the council member. Board of Water Supply. Not present. DOE. Oh, you raised your hand, so. I would like to point out that, we have an interim complex area superintendent. I don't want to dwell on the negative or anything like that, but I've been trying to get a complex area superintendent to come to this meeting since not this past one, but the previous one. Ms. Heidi Armstrong would come to every meeting if she was on island. And I think she's deputy superintendent now. So it's nice to see senior leadership from DOE here because I think it shows that they actually care. And when complex area superintendent, then complex area superintendent Heidi Armstrong was here, we got stuff done. And I'll just leave it at that. So Governor Josh Green's representative. Yes, she sent me a note. HDOT quarterly report, Hawaii Department of Transportation. And we're going to be out of here by 9:30. Senate District 19, Senator Henry Kino.
Aloha, can you hear me, Chair? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Aloha.
Aloha, Chair. Board members, members of the committee, Nathaniel Ise representing Senator Kino this evening. Chair, as always, I emailed you my report, and with that being said, I stand by my report. Thank you.
Any questions from board members? Okay. Any questions from members of the community? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chair.
Senate District 19, Senator Kurt Favela. Okay, moving on to Senate District 21, Senator Mike Gabbard. Oh, okay, we have someone. If you're talking, we cannot hear you. Okay, maybe technical difficulties, we'll swing back. Representative District 39, Representative Elijah Pierik. Moving on to District 40, Representative Julie Reyes Oda. District 41, Representative David Alcosta III. Moving on to Representative District 42, Representative Diamond Garcia. going to be out here by 8:30. I do want to point out that this is highly unusual, and I'm not sure what's going on tonight with the number of absences of the elected officials and their representatives. So move on to item number 8, committee reports. Any reports from the Parks Committee? Seeing none. Education. I'm the chair of the Education Committee. I think we will let tonight's presentation stand as a report, an excellent report. Transportation.
I can step in for John very quickly.
Please.
I attended the HDOT meeting on September 3rd on behalf of John. A couple things going on. It's the 1-year anniversary of the Navahini, I hope I'm saying that right, settlement. That's where the youth of Hawaii sued the state, and the state settled to do a lot in the transportation department to try to reduce emissions, because that is our biggest contribution to carbon, global warming. It's a 20-year commitment. Courts have enforcement power if the state doesn't come through with their commitments. On October 15th, their plan comes out and the public can make comments on it, and they will be constantly updating it. So that's, to me, that's exciting. And the second thing is September 29th through October 5th is a week without driving. That may not be reasonable for most people, but if you can just do a day or whatever, I'm putting the link to that program in the chat. Yeah, so it's Hawaii Department of Transportation, a week without driving. And if you want help planning your route, you can take a bus, you can, ride. There's a webinar going on September 24th from 3 to 5, online or in person. So you can plan your route if you want to do a day on the bus. I can do that because I'm retired, because it takes longer, but I'd like to try that out. And yeah, so they have Instagram, websites, all sorts of stuff, how you can participate in that. And let's see, I think that is it for transportation. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Don't go anywhere. Public safety. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Were you doing community outreach as well?
No.
Or AMPO?
No.
I'm sorry, Susan, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking me if I was doing those.
No, I thought you were on the AMPO committee. You and John? No? Okay. Climate change? That is definitely you, Susan?
Yes. It's climate change and resilience hubs, actually. So maybe for next time we could add that other piece of it. Our next committee meeting is October 1st, 7:00 p.m. here at the library. And I'm also going to try to do it hybrid again. Hopefully I'll do a better job. And the second thing is the permitted interaction group with Eva and with Kapolei/Makakilo to pursue resiliency hubs has been reestablished. So we're still going to be meeting on that. And as you recall, resiliency hubs are sort of twofold. Places to go for community events, so people get used to going there. I'm working on the University of Hawaii West Oahu on that. And also where people could go in an emergency, like the tsunami. So the idea is these hubs, people would be used to going there for fun community events, gardening, what have you, so that when there is a tsunami warning or hurricane warning, they could also go there for that. So that's what we're working on. And again, October 1st is the next meeting.
Thank you, Susan. I do want to take a quick break to remind everyone not associated with the board, but a community member, that the permitted interaction groups, or PIGs, I'm not going to say the word, they're actually a way for the different boards to come together and collaborate and coordinate legally. Okay, because of the Sunshine Law, we shouldn't be talking to one another, but we can with the permitted interaction group. So members of our group, members of this committee, this board, get together with members of the Kapolei board and other boards and we meet and talk about things that affect us regionally. Hawaiian Affairs Committee, moving on. No report. And Military Affairs, Mike, have anything?
Nothing new to pass this month, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. As we close out, just please, Chief.
Sorry about that. Chief Hine again. For NCTF, Navy Closure Task Force, Ms. Abdul is online, sir. Sorry about that.
Good evening, Chair Clark and board members. My name is Stephanie Abdul, Public Affairs Specialist, filling in for Lieutenant Longo. I just have a couple announcements and I'll be real quick. I know you guys are wrapping up. We have our weekly Red Hill Highlights, the 25th edition out. It's out every Tuesday with provides updates on tank cleaning and the closure process. And then we also have the September 24th quarterly informational webinar coming up, covering worker and contractor safety. And for September 18th and 24th, we have drinking water information booths at the Navy Exchange, the main one on Bougainville, and at the Kapilina Night Market. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I do believe we have a related question. Ms. Gorman Chang?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I'm assuming we were told that the Navy is going to attend the Community Representation Initiative meeting on October 30th. Can you confirm that?
I can't confirm that. I do know that it is coming up. I will have to ask senior leadership for attendance. Because I will not be attending personally.
Okay.
But I mean, I would have to confirm with leadership on that, and then I will have them contact the POC for the CRI.
Okay, great. And then also the CRI itself, because the Navy, I think, only wants to meet 2 times in 6 months anyway. They have their own meeting at Olelo, September 25th from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, if anybody's interested in that. And that is live broadcast, recorded, and then also live at Olelo.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
And thank you, Chief, for reminding us that they were online. As I was saying, as we close tonight's meeting, I would like to take a moment to recognize the date that is today, September 11th. We all can, well, a lot of us, I know there's a lot of young people in here, but I think we can think back to where we were on that day. So as we go forward, let's never forget, as the saying goes. Announcements, next regular meeting scheduled for Thursday, October 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m. virtually via WebEx and in person right here at Ewa Beach Public Library. Support your library. Tell a friend that the library is a great place to go. Take your kids there. Commercial. I take my kids to the library all the time. My wife took them much more than I did. But it's a great resource, not just for books, for learning. Please, this library is a great place. You don't have to go all the way to Kapolei. Okay. And also for the parents, please remember this. Regular board meetings are broadcast every Sunday at 6 p.m. and every second and fourth Friday at 10 a.m. on Olelo Digital 49. So you can share you can ask your friends and family members to share this meeting. Not this one won't be televised until when, Jeffrey? Okay, like the first Sunday, right? I think it's what, yeah. First Sunday in October. So you can do a search on your Spectrum or Hawaiian Telcom, whichever you have. And oh, really? Okay. Jeffrey and Melissa. That's all right. Melissa just informed me it'll be on the NCO's website YouTube channel within the next day or two. So you can get this information out regarding the schools, regarding the city council proposal, all that good stuff on how we can change the world starting right here. Okay. And with that, mahalo.